I want to talk about something happy. I was going to save this for tomorrow, but I'm going to do it today because the Austin Watson suspension just came down. I want to talk about something happy. So this is something happy. Just ignore the fingerprints. Pacioretty excited to get started in Vegas. So he arrives in Vegas, and they've got big banners out for him. They're excited to have him there. And he's already been out on the ice at the practice rink, and he looks happy and excited, and he's had pictures taken with the mascot for the Golden Knights. And I'm telling you, I know people are tired of hearing me say it, but they're doing something right. Here's a quote from Pacioretty. I haven't really slept in 3 days. I woke up this morning around 4:30 and was just wandering around here at 5 in the morning. I came in the rink and the guys downstairs said, "Do you want to see the room?" He recognized me and I said, "Sure." At 5:30 a.m., he had a moment to himself in the new locker room at the practice facility of the new team in a new city. When some people have that much unfamiliarity thrust upon them, they can be overwhelmed by all of the change, but not Pacioretty. The newly acquired forward for the Vegas Golden Knights was traded to the Montreal Canadiens after some controversy over whether they wanted to re-sign him to a new contract. Whatever happened in the past is Pacioretty's rearview mirror. I feel I have the opportunity now to take out my brain and just go play hockey, says Pacioretty. And he pointed out, too, that he's already been told by players, we don't have a captain here, we have 23 captains. Everybody's equal. And, I think really what and I get it, Montreal fans are very bitter about Pacioretty and they don't like Pacioretty and this and that. He's not being counted on to be the guy in Vegas. He's not being counted upon to be that leader in Vegas. He is being counted on to be one of the voices. He can be a second-line guy. He can provide that secondary role. He can play on the second power play. He doesn't have to be on the first. And he is going to be very recognizable in Vegas, and Vegas fans are very aware of each player. And it's funny because when you're in Vegas and you talk to people, they'll say, "Oh, I saw Derek England down there. Oh, I met Marc-Andre Fleury over there. Alex Tuck likes to hang out there." They will know all of this stuff, and yet it's sort of the same way that you talk about friends of yours and stuff. Like it's this small town feel to the city of Vegas that's really kind of fun. And it's in the desert, so you don't have to worry about snow, and you don't have to worry about all that. There's other things, too, like the fact that it's like walking into a furnace every time you leave the door. But, yeah, it was hot. And then the wind comes up, and you're like, oh, good, it's windy. Oh, the wind makes it hotter. Oh, that's fantastic. How does wind make things hotter? So wind chill doesn't exist in the desert, but at least not in July. I was there in July. I have to go back in the late fall, early December. But And I want to make this point, and I feel like I've tried to make this point before. There is something in the city of Vegas that other cities don't have. It has small town built in if you go out to Summerlin. So that feels very small town, very community-ish. All of the lights and all of the fancy stuff is all on the Strip for the most part. I mean, there are places off the Strip that are pretty fancy, but the Strip is where that is. That's where most of your tourists are going to be, and the rowdy ones. You go out into Summerlin where the practice facility is, and it feels really small townish, and it's a good community. So there is something different about Vegas from say, for instance, Vancouver. It's very spread out. It's very, I don't know. It's just different. And I can understand why a hockey player going there would say, this is a good place to be with my family. And the welcoming environment clearly made a big difference. You look at the players last year. You look at a guy like William Karlsson. You look at Marchessault. You look at Riley Smith. They put up point totals that were unthinkable before last season. Marchessault, we could have seen it coming. Riley Smith was a bit of a surprise. And Howlow was a huge surprise. And their whole blue line was a surprise, including Nate Schmidt. And I think there's something to be said for when you play in front of that crowd. And when you're playing in a city like that feels so completely different from anywhere else in the NHL, I think it really makes the players play better. I fully expect a happy, relaxed Max Pacioretty to score more than he did in Montreal. We knew he was miserable in Montreal last year. You could see it. You could feel that Montreal didn't want to have him around. He went through a huge goalless drought, at which point we were reading in the Montreal media all the time about how he's the worst captain in Montreal history, and he sees that and he'll say, oh, I don't pay attention. Players always say they don't pay attention. Of course they pay attention. But it's it's that mentality that it gets to people. And Max Pacioretty's, I believe it was Max Pacioretty's wife that was being interviewed, and she said that he had talked to it was his wife that said he talked to Jean Beliveau's wife about how Jean Beliveau had dealt with criticism as the captain of the Montreal Canadiens. That's right. Jean Beliveau had to deal with plenty of criticism as Montreal captain and admitted it got to him at times as well. And that made Max feel a little bit better about his place. So going from the environment where you're expected to be the guy, you've got the C on your chest, and it's a weight on your everything, and you go to a situation where it's like, here's a hockey stick, just go out and do what you do. We're happy to have you here. If people don't think that can make a difference of 10 plus goals in a season, I really think it can. And I think that it's another example of how, and I think we'll see other teams emulate this. I do. I think we'll see other teams start emulating this. I mentioned about the pregame celebrations that were in Vegas and how these elaborate pregame shows would end up percolating throughout the league, and we would eventually see other teams in the league pick up on it because it's a really good talking point, and it does draw in casual fans. People watching TV will scroll past a hockey game and go, what the hell's going on here? And they'll watch it. So other teams will pick up on it. And I think the hockey community is very often, I think, of the four sports, while I think hockey players can be the most humble and the most amazing in sports, and I believe that. I think of the four major sports in North America, and if you want to include Major League Soccer, then we'll say five. But I think hockey players are the most humble, most decent guys, and I think hockey fans can also be kind of stuffy. Go to Vancouver and watch a game, and sometimes it's like there's a funeral going on the ice because there's no sound in the crowd. There's nothing. It's just so quiet, and that goes back to when the Pacific Coliseum was called the Pacific Mausoleum in Vancouver. Vancouver fans are notoriously quiet. So when you get a city in there that's like, okay, it's going to be a 3-hour party, here we go, it'll grate against those fans. I know in Vancouver that if there's fans that are up and cheering and chanting and making a lot of noise, you'll see fans doing the whole, hell's their problem? And, what's up with them? They've been drinking a lot. They need to get cut off. And that's a mentality that I've seen in Vancouver. I'm not saying it happens everywhere. I'm just saying that what we're seeing going into year 2 with this experiment, it looks pretty solid, and we'll see just how well Patches does this year. I'm excited. I know Vegas fans are excited. And this treatment, let me see if I can find it. I know it's on Twitter. I will just go ahead and pause. Okay, so here's a couple more things. There's Max Pacioretty in a helicopter going over the city of Vegas. Looks like he's out over Summerlin. There's Max getting a picture with the Vegas sign. I didn't get a picture with the Vegas sign while I was there. We never got a picture with the Vegas sign while we were there. I know. I know, but we never got our picture taken with it. There was a lineup. I have a funny feeling the lineup got out of the way for him. So there he is with the helicopter. There he is with Chance. So they already got his jersey all made up. He's signing autographs. And this is all off the Golden Knights social media. Max Pacioretty, hey, I'm here kind of thing. And there it is. Pacioretty on the leadership already in the Golden Knights locker room. When I came here, the quote I heard was that there's 23 captains. I couldn't put it better myself. This is the situation I want to be in. I feel like their goal is to seek the best in every department and make a dream team. You can see it with their facility. The locker room, there's nothing missing. It's got to be the best I've seen. There's so many reasons I wanted to sign that extension to be here, and Paul Stastny was definitely one of them. On Gerard Gallant, I feel I have the opportunity to take out my brain and just play hockey. Meaning Gallant will make all the decisions, and he'll just go out and be a hockey player. And there you go. It's fantastic. And then they say pop over to our Facebook page and ask a question for Max, at which they do regularly too. And then there he is in Vegas gear already out on the ice. He's excited, and I think this is great. I really do. I think this is great. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I know Montreal fans are going to be mad. I understand that. I totally do. But I wanted a feel-good story today with the other not so feel-good stuff that's going on out there. The suspension and all. So that's a feel-good story, and I'm not forcing anybody to click on the video and watch it. I just wanted to discuss it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through and you just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.